Very interesting point that you made about love being different between men and women, and for women it's conditional. Do you agree with that?
Yes, yes.
Like he does bring up some valid points. I know my wife's gonna see this later, but she's gonna
That's
like
all right. We're gonna edit this out. Don't worry. Well, we'll edit parts of it out. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll edit in
no,
your
no, no,
favor.
no. I think like for males, like the love that you give to your wife doesn't really have to be outspoken or like we try to act more than we like speak about it and stuff like that. But I guess depending on what the female's love language is, like for me, my love language is physical touch. So like I feel like as long as we have like intimate times here and there, like I'm still a happy chappy guy. But I think for my wife, her love language is words of affirmation. And like she kind of gets upset with me when I'm like not saying like I love you on a daily basis or like because we got a dog, Kobe, like a little black toy poodle.
Oh, that's
She
an
like
awesome name. Sick name, man.
and she kind of comes to me and always goes, "I'm jealous of how you look at Kobe. Why don't you look at me in that sort of way?" So I feel like it's like for us, it's very love's very logical. It's like I still love you more than Kobe. Like it's just do I need to like imprint it and show you in other everyday life that I do love you more than Kobe? But for them, it's like they need to hear it. They're more emotionally driven than logically driven. So it's I guess that's another thing that you have to learn after you get married on how to meet the middle ground to keep your wife happy, to make sure they're at a certain level of feeling loved when like like I do love her to bits, and sometimes like especially with the things that have happened in my life in the last year or two, like I'm stressed out, so it's a bit hard to like just be like I love you when I'm like stressed out and looking unhappy and stuff like that. But she needs that in her life, so I'm learning to drop all the things that are worrying me or that I'm anxious about and just be able to say I do love you and like kind of show it in different ways. So I
Mm.
think that's something that I'm learning these days.
Yeah, man. Every marriage, man, like all my mates, we all like, mate, we all go through different ebbs and flows, I reckon, for sure. For sure. Like that's one thing I realize as well, especially when we've got first married as well, the first year, definitely the most arguments and the most like riffraff and stuff, for sure, for sure. It just as you said, lived years apart and stuff. So like it's because my
Softening
wife
up
goes.
period, huh?
Yeah, because my wife goes schizo when I don't put things back in the chejari and stuff, put it back into
Mm.
place. She just goes, absolutely sure you can. But like, I think she's eased down over the years because like, I just like, I've lived like that for, I'm not a slob, but if I just use like a sontopkaki, I might not put it back straight away. You know what I mean?
Oh,
But
you're
for
the
her, it's
worst,
like,
mate. Put that shit back
yeah,
immediately, man. Fucking hell.
yeah, she just wants to put it back immediately. She's like, if you just do that, then we won't have to look for it and shit. Yeah, it makes sense, but it's just, you know what I mean? Like I'm watching the news and maybe I just want to put it back later or something, but I'll forget. Yeah. Anyway, shit like that gets
Yeah,
mad.
that's
Um,
that's a prime example of what we thought about a lot in the beginning. Like, can't you just hang up your clothes after you wear it, or like put it into the hamper? And I'm just like, can I do it after I do what I'm gonna do? Like,
that's
I
what I'm
want to do
saying.
it in my own time, and but they'll be like, but it's just sitting there. Can't you just do it now? And then we used to get like have like not real arguments, but I just be like, and then like she'd be like, oh you like why do you look so angry about it? Like I'm just telling you to do this and stuff like that, and then it like blow up to a whole different.
I've got a similar example, not with my girlfriend, but it's with Juno who I live with. So so there's a next to the fridge there's a windowsill, right? And then he like leaves his cup there on the windowsill. And he doesn't know about it. Okay? So do you think you guys are obviously the culprits in your household? Do you prefer to be told about it or not? Because that's not where the cup should sit.
Well, the wives tell you about it. This is different because he's your roomie. But yeah,
Yeah.
like that's exactly the shit that my wife gets pissed off about. She's like, "What
I
the
do get
fuck?
pissed off
The
about it. I just
cup?"
don't fucking
She's like,
say anything.
she's like, "Why is the cup fucking there?" That's exactly what happened.
Well, that's why you're not his wife. Like, if you're his wife, they
Exactly.
would tell you. They'd probably see it for one day. The next day, they'd be like, I gave you a day to put it away, and it's still sitting there. So you obviously aren't gonna put it away, and then that's why they tell you to put it
If
away.
I took a photo of it and sent it to you, how would you guys feel about it?
No, bro, that's cheesy, bro. It's just, dude, your mates just go like, bro.
No, 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 no. I'm,
uh,
I'm, I'm,
yeah.
I'm talking about it. Like, if your wives did that, how, do you think that's a good way of resolving
Yeah,
it?
I think that would be a good way for my wife not
If it's a
to.
joke, if it's a joke, like if it's gonna be funny,
Okay, okay. So,
like
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Do
Not
you,
passive
well,
aggressive.
what's like the method for you guys? What's the preferred method for your wives to resolve this situation? Just chama and say nothing, or just fucking nag you about it? Or obviously not. You don't want that. So how do you, or just yeah, what do you want your wives to do?
Yeah, I don't know what you do, Fab, but I just tell my wife, can you like pick and choose a bit? Like if you're gonna say it, like if you're gonna nag like 24/7 about it, then it's just gonna be like shitty. But
Yeah,
if you
just
just
be
pick and
selective
choose a
about your
bit,
nagging.
yeah, be selective about your, yeah, just like like what did you say? Like refing a sports game, right? Just let the ones go, and then the ones you need to blow the penalty. All right, yeah, that you
Yeah.
fucking travel. Like you took 10 steps. That's a fucking travel. You know, you took a half a step, bro. Let him dunk, right? You know what I mean?
But boss, you've been married so much longer than I have. I reckon that in itself would bring up like a whole new avenue of getting in trouble.
Yeah, no, look, it's compromise definitely. And
No,
look,
no, you guys fell to the
I've gotten
fucking
better
trap. You
too.
guys fell to the trap. Like, as in, your answer should have been like about how you're gonna correct your behavior, not about fucking, focusing on your wife's, you know, conflict resolution.
Mate, mate, marriage is about compromise, goes both ways. But like I do definitely put more effort, like for sure. Like try to put things, try to be cleaner, try to help her out basically. And, it's compromise. So a lot of the time she doesn't like the way I do things too, because she's very neat, very clean, right? Which is good. House is immaculate. Love that. But so she wants to do laundry a certain way and stuff. So I'm just like, tell me how I can help you. So she'll be tell me exactly what she'll be like. I'll wash the baby's clothes. Like she'll be today's mission. Wash the baby's clothes and hang it. That's it. Very simple instructions. That's how I need
Yeah,
to like I love sports analogies. If I was a coach, just tell me exactly what to do. Fucking run the ball
that's
at this
exactly what
person.
I said
Yeah.
to my wife as well. Like,
Yeah.
instead of you, because a lot of the times, like, she'd see things and she'd just do it, and then she'd be like, I did all of this, what are you doing? Sort of thing. But I'm like, if you honestly gave me a list of the things to do, I'll make sure it's done after I'm doing what I need to do, and there won't be any issues. And she always says to me, like, whatever you do it really well. It's just you don't do it. And it's just like, it's because honestly, a lot of the things, like, I'm not as neat and tidy as you are as a person. And for me, like, like I've done cleaning, I've done like washing, I've worked in a kitchen and stuff like that. So like I can clean to a certain standard very well, but it's just the times that you want it are much more frequent than I can imagine.
Mm.
So like that's where the compromise has to come in. So I always tell her, look, why don't you just make a list of the things that you want me to do today? Or I go to her and be like, what do you need done? And instead of saying, oh, nothing, and being upset about it, why don't you just tell me, I want this done, I want this done, I want this done? Then I'd be like, okay, by the end of the day, I'll do all of it.
Look,
Okay.
try that. I highly recommend that one thing. Sorry, Dennis. I highly recommend that fact because that's what we've tried. So we've been through shit too. I remember, and this I'll tell you now. There was when one was my first kid, my son. We had very different methods. When he was growing up 0 to 1. Long story short, I was more like the tough guy, and she was more the softie. And then one day, she just sat me down, like when he was about 7 months old, and then she was like, it's not it's not working in terms of like this parenting where it's not working for me. I'm really, really tired, and I need some help from you that's gonna like work for us. I was like, sweet, let's talk it out. And then she told me what she needed, and I was like, sweet, let's do that. Anyway, since then we've really gotten better and better, and this is one of the methods I use. Okay, when I work from home, I tell her, give me the mission list, give me the list, give me the check boxes. What is it exactly? So today's one was do our washing, hang it up, and then get the dishes out of the dishwasher and put them in the cupboards. Sweet. Do it before close of business. Done. All right. That's what
Close
I
of
want, man.
business.
Yeah, mate. But yeah,
Oh,
mate.
No, like
Just
that, honestly,
fucking.
that's the compromise that me
Hey,
and my
hey,
wife
hey,
went
hey,
through
hey.
as well. Just make a
Do
list.
they not be like 이런 것까지 내가 얘기해줘야 돼? Like, am I
Yeah,
raising a fucking kid? Like,
근데 but
yeah,
like
but
너도
알아서 하면
결혼하면
안
네가
돼?
느낄 거야. 너도
yeah,
결혼하면 느낄 건데 like
100%.
like you're two different people and you have
Mm,
two different standards, right?
mm.
So
Yes. No. I know. I agree.
like if she wants the house cleaned every single day and you're the type of person that used to clean your house once a week,
Mm.
you're gonna have to come to some sort of middle ground so that she's not cleaning the house 6 days a week and you're doing it once a week.
Yep.
100%.
Agreed.
100%.
And
No,
like
I'm
for
saying,
her to be cleaning the house 6 times a week and you doing once a week, she's gonna rip your throat out by the end of it.
100%. It's not
yeah, no, so I'm
sustainable.
saying,
Yeah.
yeah, there needs to be that communication for you to eventually reach that compromise, right? Yeah, no, understood.
100%. 100%.